Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Better Late with Mariela Segovia. I'm Mariela Segovia, and it's so good to be back. I feel like it's been a challenge for me recently to kind of be consistent with the episodes, and now that I have some in Spanish, trying to figure out which subject is better in one language or the other. I'm still a work in progress. If you have any feedback on that, I'd love to hear it. You know where to find me at Mariela Segovia on Instagram, or you can find me at Better Late Mariela in TikTok. And we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. So I've been thinking a lot about the concept of this podcast and how the Better Late is truly a thing that without bullshitting you guys, something that I really think is a great way of approaching your life and your own timelines without the anxiety of I'm feeling behind, so and so has this going for them, and so already accomplished this or that, and I'm this. And it's like, it's super unfair because no one's journey is the same. But I think it's still a thing to realize. And if you're listening from me and it's clicking something with you, I love that you're gone to it right now and not a week before or whenever it is, because you just were not ready to receive that message, if that makes any sense. And so what I wanted to do initially when I started the podcast was to have these conversations and like explore and dig into these subjects that I've kind of like thought on and meditated on and kind of spoken to my therapist about too, and have had like some skills that I've developed because I've spoken to a specialist about it. And it's all coming from that better late. There was a moment where I wanted my episodes to be called like, oh, better late than not pursuing your dream career, or better late than not leaving a toxic place, or better late than not breaking up with that annoying boyfriend that no one likes, or better late than not being true to yourself and who you are and who you want to be. So I ended up not naming my episodes that, but I still feel that the subjects that I bring here and the things that I want to talk about kind of embody that. And there is one that has really stood out to me recently. And it's, when people say it takes a village, if you want to get to the top, what was it? If you want to go far, go. Wait, what? I know there's some sayings about like, if you want to go far, go with someone. If you want to go fast, go by yourself, or something of that sort. Well, I've heard a lot that like it takes a village, and you see a lot of successful people when they are sharing their journey, they a lot of times talk about the people that helped them there, and the people that supported them there, and the people that kind of show them the ropes. But what happens when you don't have a village? What happens when you're on a journey that you kind of have embarked on by yourself, and there's no one else but you that fully believes that you can make your dreams and your goals happen? It's not easy. I have definitely experienced feeling isolated and maybe not. So because I moved to the States by myself, that initially started as a lonely journey, right? My hero's journey by myself. And truly, just like Khan says, you can find people along the way that become your sidekicks, and you become your mentors, and people that really push you forward and teach you things. And it's a whole thing. But I know how frustrating and how depressing it can feel when it kind of seems no one's on your side. So one thing that I've been working in therapy for years on is the aspect of being lonely. Because I lost my mom so young, I think I have this like fear of abandonment thing within me. And I've definitely attached to people for the wrong reasons just because I didn't want them to not be with me. But that's not the reason to be with someone romantically. And I think it's also not the reason to have friends just to have them. And I've definitely understood what kind of people I need on my side and what they bring from me. I've become a much better friend because I've understood how much friendships can heal you and support you and carry you. It's not by chance or by coincidence that when you grow up, you spend more time with your friends than with your family. It's because these are the people that you're choosing to spend your time with. These are the people that are meeting you where you're at, no expectations. They just saw what you brought, the energy you provide, and they're like, yeah, I'm into that. I want that person in my life. And this is a reminder for anyone and everyone that's maybe feeling lonely right now or feeling like, well, I have big dreams or I have big goals, but I don't feel like I have a village. You can be your own village. It's not forever, but it takes you also doing the work and sitting with yourself and learning what you need and what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel cared for and what makes you feel good, and then give it to yourself. Give it to yourself first. I know it's a lot because we're not taught to do that. We're taught to like grow up and have someone next to you and like, put up with things and this and that. But I think in the modern world that we're living, we just have a lot more space to grow ourselves and to get to know ourselves deep and heal so many things before we even like interact with other people. The sense of community, and this is what I was like a few years ago, I was very like wanting to find a boyfriend and very much like going on dates and like trying to find that. And it was leaving me feeling even more lonely when they didn't work out. I remember I moved to the States and I had people that I knew in Miami and I had people that I knew in New York. So I had kind of like an opening. When I moved to LA, I didn't know more than one person. And that was really tough. And then the pandemic happened. And then that one person that was in my life that I thought was my friend and that cared for me and that I could count on kind of disappeared and ghosted me. And it was super heartbreaking, but it taught me that I needed to find within myself all the things that I would have wanted someone to give me. And at that time, I was on Hinge, on Raya, and trying to connect with people and go on dates. And when they wouldn't work out, because dating is a numbers game, like you're not going to match emotionally or intellectually or physically or whatever with everyone you meet. It's a numbers game. You're gonna meet someone you're gonna like, and they're not gonna like you back, and you're gonna meet someone that they adore you, and you just are not into them like that, and that's normal, and that's okay, and that rejection is super okay. But when you're like how I was, trying to find community and trying to find a safe haven, a village within that, it was just heartbreak after heartbreak. And it took me some time to realize that what I was looking for was friends. I asked a lot of these people that I didn't like romantically. I was like, okay, but do you want to be friends? And they were like, no. A lot of guys don't want to be friends with someone that they have romantic feelings or like physical attraction or whatever towards, which I think it's fine, but I don't know. No, it's not fine. It's stupid, honestly. Like, if we do get along, like you can, no? Am I wrong? Well, I would love to hear about what you think about it in the comments, because it definitely pushed me to try to find friends and try to make friends. What happens is when you're in your 30s, when you're in your late 20s, it's so hard to make friends because your friends from your whole life have come from situations where you've been in a routine constantly where you guys are all doing the same thing every single day. You're going to school together, you're going to work together, you spend time together, you are studying the same things, you're working on the same things, everything is very similar. So it's not hard to develop friendships if we're all kind of doing the same thing and are kind of in the same wave of thinking, right? But when you're on your own, kid, like Taylor says, it's harder because you need to make an active effort to find your people, to find your village, your family, your parents, your cousins, all those people are there, but they also have their own expectations of you, and they also want to see you achieve certain things that are all coming from love, I'm sure, but they don't necessarily are the things that you want to do for yourself. Those are not necessarily the goals that you would want for yourself. You know what I mean? Like when your parents are asking you, when are you having kids? And you're just like, I don't even know that I want to have kids. Or when are you bringing that girlfriend home? And you're like, how do I tell my family that I'm gay? And I've been actively gay and I just like haven't told them because I just don't feel comfortable with that. You know what I mean? I feel like that's normal. And with empathy, you can understand that they're coming from the best place with their own baggage and their own trauma and their own things. But that's when you are out there and making an effort to meet people, you know where you're looking. Like, if I hate running, I probably shouldn't get into a running club to meet people. Or if I hate, which in my case, I hate like fights like WWE and like wrestle and all that. I hate that. Why would I go to a bar on a night that's what it's being showed, to like hang out with people that love that? It makes no sense. So for that, you need to figure out if you like things or not. So I know I don't like that, but I know I love playing backgammon because at some point in my life, not too long ago, I met someone who was like, hey, do you want to learn how to do this? And I was like, sure. I played chess when I was a kid. I think there's something to it. And then I got super into the game and then realized that there was a whole community of people, young people, hot, single people, friendly people that were getting together and playing backgammon once, twice a week in restaurants or breweries or parks or, I don't know, at Soho House. And I started to go, and it's like you need to make the effort because it's like you need to build your schedule around something that you put effort into. It's not just going to come to you. No one's going to come knocking on your door and being like, hi, do you want to be friends? Sadly, that's not how people make friends when you're not 5 years old at a kindergarten. I wish it was that easy, but it's not. So if you want to build your village, you have to do it yourself. But knowing first who you are, what you bring to the table, what's compatible to you, what your boundaries are, what you're willing or not willing to do. Obviously, the more open you are to meeting new people that do different things than what you're used to, you're probably going to have a lot of fun. I've said this multiple times. Outside of your comfort zone is where the magic happens. So figure out those things that make you feel loved, those things that make you feel cared for, those things that make you feel like, with this, I can take on the world, and whatever comes, I can approach it and do a great job at it. And there will be times where you're going to go on that path by yourself. But use it, enjoy it, because that's not going to be the way it is all the time. I'm sure there's people that have 3 kids right now, have been married for 20 years, and they're like, shit, I haven't spent that much time figuring out who I am, what I like, what kind of music I like, what kind of experiences I enjoy anymore besides what is already there, besides the kids and the family. And like, it's a luxury for a lot of moms or for a lot of dads to take time away from that and just give it to themselves. And it's self-care, but not in that way of like, oh, let me do face masks and let me play golf with my friends. And like, all those things are great. But I think it's just such golden time when you're by yourself and you get to just indulge in what you want and what you know makes you happy. There's so many times that I have invitations to go out and do whatever, go to a beach party or go to a karaoke night or go to a drag show or do like whatever it is. A lot of times I'm like, heck yeah, let's do it. But a lot of times I'm like, honestly, I'm exhausted and all I want to do is be by myself. And there's no anxiety of like, I'm by myself, I'm alone. I had it for years, I had it, but it's been a while now since I've felt that because I'm so comfortable with what I know I can give myself. It's so funny. I didn't realize this until like, I don't know, probably like 5 years ago. And my therapist would always tell me, you know, you need to get over the fear of being alone because you come into this world alone and you're going to leave this world alone. And everyone else is just temporary. No one's here forever. Like the only person you're going to hang out with your entire life is you, right? So why wouldn't you want to invest and get to know that person more than anyone else? And with that, oh my God, you avoid so many toxic things and so much waste of time. Like if you know yourself, if you can provide for yourself everything you want, you don't need anything from anybody. So if you're not needing anything from anybody, everything they bring to you is just a gift. It's just extra. It's just adding on. People ask me a lot of times, why are you single? Why are you still single? How are you still single? I have gotten to a point where I feel very self-fulfilled. I feel like I can provide myself with the cheerleading whenever I need it. I can be rough on myself, sometimes a little too rough on myself. I can understand when I need help and I need to reach out and ask for it. And I've made amazing friends that have made me understand that what I bring to the table is amazing. So I'm not going to settle for anything other than magic and gifts. Like, I'm not talking about like, he has to give me a Balenciaga bag or like, I don't know, take me to $300 dinners every night. Nothing like that. Truly nothing. I've never had a boyfriend that's done that for me, by the way. I've never had like a partner that's been like, let me take you here. Let's go and we can get away here and like, let's do this. I've never had someone that's been like super like that. So I've given myself that, where I buy for myself what I want, where I take myself to dinner whenever I want and wherever I want to. And I will go to the movies and I will go to concerts and I will do things by myself if I don't have anyone else to go with. If I did, that would be amazing, but that doesn't prohibit me from things. I feel like I've talked about this in a different episode, but where I'm getting at is the village, you can build it. It's not always going to be there. I've learned. But the more you spend time by yourself, the better you're going to be at picking your people. And the better you're going to know how to set boundaries. And the better you're going to live your life. I truly believe as humans, we're meant to be in community. We are. We are meant to be, whether that be just with one person, because you just are not into being around people. Fair. Or a group of people. How many movies, how many TV shows are about a group? They're not just, I mean, Friends, Sex and the City. Like, it doesn't have to be just one person. It doesn't have to be a romantic connection. I say I love you to all my friends all the time. I don't think I grew up listening to I love you a lot in my house. I was shown love in different ways. So now that I get to do it, at first it was hard for me to just like say, hi, okay, bye, love you. I was just like, that's so weird. That's so intense. But I like it. And so I took it on. And I now do that. And I know whoever's going to be with me is going to have to be a person that also feels that way about community and about their individuality, having their own stuff and just wanting to merge to make everything better, not to complete each other. That whole like my half orange, media naranja. Is that in English too, or my other half? My other half, no. I don't want another half. I don't want a half because I'm whole. And I want another whole person so that we can be two. And that's on that, right? Intense. I don't know. I wanted to talk about it because I've been feeling a lot about that recently. I've been feeling a little isolated and a little exhausted with the journey because it doesn't always have peaks. There's valleys for sure. And recently I like posted a story to my close friends after having a really rough day at one of my restaurant jobs. And I was just like, gosh, this is one of those nights where I'm just like, the journey is journeying. It's rough. And these are the moments where I feel like I need more support. And it's crazy how like a couple of people responded to that. I obviously did it because I wanted to kind of like say a little help. Hi. If someone's out there. It was like midnight. I was like, if someone's out there, kind of feeling like shit. If someone wants to come through. There was a friend that was literally like, just remember your light. And that literally made me cry. This is a friend that I met on a dating app that actually did work out to be a friend, who I just connected with. We have a great relationship. We haven't seen each other in a year because we actually saw each other last year, but he lives like in Switzerland, has now a beautiful like partner and has a baby. And the fact that whatever impression I made on him stayed, and sometimes you need people to remind you of those things. It's not, yeah, we try to be Wonder Woman, Superman, and just like, yeah, I can do everything on your own. There are going to be moments when you can do that, but remember that the people you've met, you've touched, and they remember you. And then after that, one of my cousins was like, I absolutely believe in you. I love you. We're all rooting for you. And that's one of those things where I'm like, right, we don't hear this every day, but there is people out there. Yeah. It's been an emotional couple of months. It's been a rough patch. So I'm sorry that I haven't been that consistent with the podcast. I promise I'll be better. I really enjoy clipping and creating stuff to share because I love the comments, and I've loved how people relate to it. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. And yeah, I hope you listened and you enjoyed and you like and subscribe and comment. It helps me so much. It helps me obviously with like the algorithm and the views and all of that, but it also helps me know that you are out there, you are listening, and that you are into it. It's definitely motivating. So yeah, this is going to be it for today. Remember, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember that, yes, it takes a village, but gosh, you can push that village on yourself a little bit when there's no one else. Your people will find you. Remember, you haven't met all the people you're going to love in your life. Okay? Well, this was a little dense. Okay, I'm going to go now. Bye.